Hello and welcome to the inaugural magazine show for the Dark Orb. With me is Paul, and apologies we're late. We
Hello.
forgot to press the go live button.
What's this wee mammal?
Royal we, I think you'll find. It's going
We're new
swimmingly.
at this. Please forgive us.
Yes, or send more alcohol because we need it.
Barely
Royal we.
started. And this is how good it is. Barely started.
So yeah,
We are
Thank you for
completely
joining us.
scripted, by the way. Did you realise?
yes, I'm reading this from a script. It took me all of 30 seconds to write. So normally on a Friday evening, I help Victory Condition Gaming with a section called the Fill In, as I am Phil. We go through things that are coming out on Kickstarter, things that are about to expire in terms of things that are projects that are going to complete within the next 7 days, and also other cool games that have been announced and released and gaming news generally, and we normally digress into some kind of chaos. This week, Doug is not able to partake because he is over doing lots of cool stuff for Spiel Digital. So we thought, well, let's just do a show anyway, and let's have a look and see what's been announced and released at Spiel, and talk about that, and then try and catch all the other Kickstarter stuff as well. Turns out the Spiel Digital website is quite difficult to navigate if you don't already have a PR list of what's being announced, so that hasn't quite gone according to plan.
It's a very pretty site, and there's a lot of stuff on there, but it just doesn't seem to indicate what's actually new.
Yeah,
So,
it seems a little bit strange. Certainly I didn't get a lot of time to look at it over the last few days, but it seems like the game releases also includes things that are already out, which
yeah.
maybe I'm misinterpreting it, but that doesn't seem like well, it's a released game, I suppose. But I was hoping to find more easily the official kind of gaming news and PRs. Yeah, spoiler alert: we didn't sign up as PR or as media for Spiel because you need more than 5 viewers in order to do that. So, so yeah, you can help us out if you like. However, we did manage to find a couple of things, and I thought it would be a good idea to start with an interesting game called Hibachi.
Now that looks good.
It's kind of pretty, and it's not that expensive from what I saw. It's a
Very
dexterity
pretty.
game inspired by another game, which I've not played, called Safranito, which doesn't sound quite so Japanese, but it could be. I like the fact that it's got some, potentially some pretty little tokens, and I like tactile things. The fact that they're calling it a dexterity game implies to me
Yeah,
that
I
it's going to
mean,
have some components which you can throw at people, which you can have on the table.
so that's the type of game. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's fun for all the family in a kind of melee brawl kind of way.
It's just making me hungry looking at everything, though.
But looking at books, what do you eat,
Well,
Paul?
no, you scrolled past all of the food, didn't
Let's
you?
let's take it back, shall we? So yeah, and there's clearly some food prep. Hibachi is obviously the type of grill that you have mostly in Japan. It's Japanese grill. Obviously, other Japanese restaurant type places exist that also have these
Teppanyaki, he
places.
looks like to me.
It is, and that's exactly what I want now. I haven't eaten yet. I had lunch, obviously. It's like 7 p.m. here now, but yeah, I'm feeling the need to go and visit a Japanese restaurant now. Looks fun. It's not a huge amount of information in the pros available on what's going on, but there is a video there. Check it out if you fancy a dexterity game. Let's see if I can grab the other game that I thought looked quite interesting. Bear with me. So if I just switch this out, then I need to share again. So this, I think, Mr. Draconiroth, you will really like.
Batman Who Laughs Rising.
It just looks fun. It's got a thing. We like things.
Is that? I mean, I'm not like the massive like comic book. Oh, look, there you go. There's John. Hi, John.
Hi, John. Thanks for joining us.
He's hungry over books because he uses salivating over the codex and stuff. Not at the moment. You know our issues at the moment, but you know we might get into that later. Who knows?
Yeah, let's do it. We are not tied to format at the Dark Orb.
Yeah, so I'm not like totally up on like comic books and stuff, but
No, me either.
I mean,
but it looks kind of dark and fun.
But just the fact that, I mean, obviously that looks like the Joker, and he looks like he's got a load of Robin pets. Now I know that there is a storyline where the Joker like kidnaps Robin and like totally messes with his brain, and he ends up being like a mini Joker.
Yeah,
and that Robin ends up getting killed. So is it? I mean, to me, it looks like it might be a spin on that.
It's on the thing, the stuff. I don't know. Batman Who Laughs. I don't know. I'm not hugely up on a lot of the Batman comics myself, but that sounds like a good bet that you can take. That's all of the Spiel stuff that I could find, by the way, that looked remotely like it might be our sort of bag, if you like. Have you had a chance to look at any Kickstarters over the last kind of few days?
Well, yeah. I mean, what did you want to go through that now, or?
Sure. Let's get out of the way the things that are going to end really soon.
End
there are
really
quite a
soon.
few, and some of them look really fun.
Now, shall I go first then?
If you like.
So, this one that I found earlier. Where's the tab gone? There it is. So this one is now. It looks like another game that I've been thinking about like the last couple of days, Into the Dungeon. I don't think it is by them. However, like just looking at this, it looks really nice. It looks really fun. You've got like the characters and the things set up, and it just looks so clean and nice.
I see what you mean. The visual style is really interesting, actually.
Yeah,
they've not overdone it.
I mean, it obviously it's very much kind of like the dungeon kind of delving kind of thing, where you go through this dungeon deck and you can build up your character and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of nice stuff in there. The biggest thing that kind of makes me a bit sad is just it's only at like 50% odd.
Yeah, that's a real shame.
And it's only got 5 days. 5 days to go.
Yeah. Sanjuro, thank you. That's one we can look up.
Well, if you know the name of that storyline, Sanjuro, then you're one up on me.
Well, yeah.
You clearly know Batman more than we do.
It's probably not a very high bar, to be honest with you.
Well, no.
I've got all of the issues of the current run of Catwoman sitting on the shelf upstairs. They're all in mint condition because I haven't bothered to read them, but it keeps on growing, you know. I do really like, in terms of the comic book properties, a lot of the DC stuff. I think it's really cool, but actually getting around to reading it is a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I only know well, I don't do comic books like at all, so I only know what's in the general public space. So we're talking like the Nolan films and
oh, you young whippersnapper.
Yeah, I know. Well, there is like the earlier ones as well, but you know they're terrible. But also right,
hang on, I'm just going to remove Paul from the feed.
But also like the cartoon like the cartoon ones, like The Killing Joke. I've watched that anime film, and that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So, but yes, so Ambush. It just looks really nice.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like they're going to necessarily succeed, which is a shame.
No,
it looks like it's their
unfortunately.
second project by the look of it.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look like they've got a massive amount of stuff that's going to bog them down. And they've got a nice, decent array of characters. Obviously, they got Merlin there as a stretch goal.
Yeah.
I mean, just some of the enemy monsters as well. They're not creatures that I've seen before, but they've got something kind of Cthulhu, Lovecraftian-esque about them, especially some of the names. So
it's pretty cool artwork, actually. And
yeah,
I'm with you. I like the fact that they haven't become overly elaborate in the style. It's simple, but it doesn't look basic, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look at that.
So there we go.
Cool. Well, from there, let's have a look at an RPG. I have not played the original release of this game. However, it is by a couple of great authors. It's a re-release, or a reprint, if you like, second printing. And it is Unbound. Now, Unbound is by Grant Howitt. And I can't remember the name of the other gentleman because I'm really tired. But basically, this is a really cool looking RPG that's designed from the ground up to only last half a dozen to a dozen sessions. And within that time, you create your characters. In the first session, you create your characters and you create a world. And the whole point is that you see that world through to its end, whatever that would be. After that time, you do it all again. So you get the opportunity to literally destroy your creation. I just love the sound of a game that's already saying, hey, look, I'm really busy and I don't have the time to learn all this stuff, but it doesn't matter because we get to do it all together. I think that's for
the ultimate form of just winging it, I suppose.
Yeah, which is really handy if you are a professional or you're very busy and you have not a lot of free time to actually not have all the responsibility on the games master, because that's ultimately what happens. I mean, I run a couple of games and I'm sure a lot of people can empathize with the whole idea that as a GM you have to know the world inside out, and if you don't know something you have to pretty much make it up on the spot, and then that has to become canon most of the time in order to perpetuate this universe that everyone is existing in. When you're all collaborating to create a world, then everyone has that freedom to make it whatever they want, and that sounds really liberating. This is a reprint. They ran out of the original copies. It's only paperback. I think they've changed the format. I think I'm right in saying that. And it's not that expensive. Look, so 25 quid.
Not too bad at all then, really.
That's all right. And they reckon it's quite good.
So, is it any good? Nah, not really.
Nah, I wouldn't bother about it. No, not really. Yeah, the art is phenomenal. You know, it looks pretty simple.
So is it one of those ones that you can that it's like it can be any theme as well? I mean,
yeah, I believe so.
Like you've got alien abductions and things going on in that image. So
no, that's just one world. You see.
Yeah.
No.
Cool.
No, I think that's the whole point. You can make anything you want. You do it collaboratively. Whatever comes out of that is your world, and then you see what happens. The designers also released lots of other great games. This is the guys that made The Spire and Heart, among others. Critically acclaimed, hugely popular. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, they've smashed their goal anyway as well. So
smashed it. Smashed it. What have you got for me?
Okay. Right. This one It's one that actually we both decided to pick up on, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Well, you can see it now.
It's the weekly dugout, Doug.
Hi, Doug.
Join us.
We're not stealing your thunder, honest.
No. Let's see if I can convince him to come on, but I don't know if he'll have time. He's super busy.
Are you going to show the tab?
What were you saying?
Tab.
Oh yeah, that one.
There you go. So actually, this is one that I heard about a while ago, because it is actually a game on Steam I've seen, and it's something that I spotted ages ago. I mean, the sad fact is that I don't game on my PC anymore. It's too old, it's too slow.
Not at all.
I mean, I've got a PlayStation for that. That's the sad fact. But it looked really nice. I mean, the simple premise is it's kind of like dystopian, and you're like on the edge of the world, and you're trying to survive. And this is the board game version of it. Watching the video obviously gives you a lot more in-depth story about the world and how everyone's trying to survive in the ice and things. And it looks like they've got a lovely mechanic around this kind of dice tower in the middle.
Yeah.
It's in there as a load of like malfunction cubes for things that end up going wrong.
Sounds like my life. The way my day's gone today, and the amount that I've not managed to achieve just structurally, it just sounds like I can relate to this game already.
I mean, just look at that GIF. I mean, they've got a mix of lovely models and meeples and things as well. It looks like it's going to be beautifully well made. Yeah, they've already got some expansions and things. I mean, I'm not surprised, frankly, but I think the probably the only downside with this sort of thing is going to be one of those games that takes like half an hour to an hour to set up, and you spend the whole day playing it, which actually isn't generally bad. But yeah, I mean, these big box games, they have I've got a soft spot for them. The problem being is a lot of the time you're like, I'd really have to play that. It's going to take a while to set up. I'll play that 5-minute one.
It looks great, doesn't it? Looks great.
Yeah, I know.
I love the look of it. My only concern is that it's their first created game, but it looks like they're smashing it. I'm going to close this window for a second, and we can come right back to it in a second.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have none other than the man, the legend, the bespectacled American that is Doug!
I thought it was the Friday fill-in. I thought I was late.
It's the dugout, my friend.
It's early for you, isn't it?
But now I'm in, so is this the dug in?
The dug in.
I don't know how this works.
Yeah, now we're all dug in. We are entrenched.
So what's going on? I've seen that steampunk game. I've looked at it a few times. I don't know if I'm gonna like. I've got so many of those. Yeah. So many of those big box board games that like they play for like 2 hours, 3 hours. I don't have how many days am I gonna have that? Like
the reality is now you open it up, you go, oh my god, this is really pretty, and now I can't send it to a retail store anywhere or sell it because I've actually opened it, so it's lost like 90% of its value, and I haven't got the energy to read the manual.
But
I've got.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Because I've got last UK Games Expo. I got City of Kings. We've played that a couple of times. It's really good, but it's one of those ones that we were playing it the last time, and we got like really close because it's like you've got these quests to fulfill, and we got really close to the last quest, and we'd already been playing for hours. And we all died, and you're like,
oh.
No! Do we start again? It's like, no, we'll play it another time. But it is really good.
Yeah, I still haven't got Nemesis to the table, or Rising Sun for that matter.
Did you see that? Well, I've never played
Rising Sun is one I wouldn't mind.
I've played Blood Rage, which I guess Rising Sun is the evolution of game design from Blood Rage. And Blood Rage I love. It's a lot of fun. I only play it like a few times when I'm at a convention or whatnot, but I actually don't physically have a copy of that game, but I love it. I'll play it. If anybody has it at a convention or at a show or an event and they say, do you want to play Blood Rage? I say, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I have Nemesis. I've got multiple copies of Nemesis. That's how much I love Nemesis. Because
one for each limb.
That's dedication.
Pretty much. Yeah. I had to get the Sundrop version. Okay, so here's what happened. Like, I got the first. They ship it out in waves, so you get the core box, and then they send you like the second wave stuff, the Kickstarter stuff, or you could wait and get it all once in the second wave. I did split shipment. I got that core box in, and I was like, oh my word, I need like the premium, the super premium of this game. So I went back and I bought, and then I found a really cheap copy on eBay, and I'm like, I should just I should buy it. If it's cheap, it's like under $100. Someone had listed it really poorly, and so I got it for like under $100, and I'm like, oh, I'll paint this one. How about that? So I've got like 3 copies of Nemesis that, I don't know. I should probably ditch one of them. But did you see that they just launched Awaken Realms Light? Just launched a little tiny fighter tabletop game.
Yeah, that was the little Street Fighter type game.
Yeah. And
I've got that on the list to talk about.
Nice, Knockdown. Yeah. I'm excited for that one. And it looks like it's pretty reasonably priced.
Well, do you want to share that out?
Yeah, let's if you don't mind, we'll share it out and
I've got it.
I was really excited about that, and I always like to see some of these bigger companies make smaller type games. That's going to get to my table a lot more often.
Yeah,
Nemesis will probably get. Nemesis is probably one of those after-hour con games
Nemesis. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. But look at this. Look at how much look at how much content you get for. I forget what the base pledge is.
$25 or something. It's really ridiculous.
And I think shipping's going to be like
$25.
I think shipping is going to be like $14 or something like that. But still, it's under $40, and you're getting.
And it's for 2 people.
Exactly.
A game for 2 players. Yeah. That means that you've got much more chance of being able to play a solo game of it.
And since I know what the Awaken Realms their minis look like, I know that they're going to be decent quality.
Yeah, the minis look great.
They're amazing.
So I know that those ones are going to be like 3D models versions, but I mean they're going to look exactly like that.
They will.
Yeah,
they really will.
I think the only downside that I think about this one is the kind of like the balancing mechanic for the wounds.
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
That's the only negative that I can see about this one because.
But they said that's an alternate. They do have alternate rules, so they're going to actually include dice, so that if you don't like the dexterity part of that game, you'll be able to just roll dice and have it determine an outcome.
Anything with dice, and I'm out.
Yeah. You see, that's a problem in of itself. I mean, I know my mate John and my wife are watching. They know how bad I am at dice rolling, so I think I might stick with the dexterity in that case.
Sure.
Yeah, Paul's going to be all about those Jenga-based games.
Hey, I'm pretty good at Jenga.
Okay, I'm going to send Paul as my sub when you finally get those. I've forgotten what's the name of the game that you were talking about.
Rest in Pieces.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Or
you guys were talking about that last week.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah,
what are you currently doing, and how much time do you have?
I probably have another 5 to 10 minutes. I've been doing Spiel Digital for Free League. As you can see, I don't usually have a big Free League banner in the back of my house
I've seen 3 videos with you in, and like at least 60% of them I've seen that in the background. So
yeah. I mean,
actually it's wallpaper.
It's if you know one thing about the one thing I'm going to hammer home, if anybody wants to be a content creator and wants to always be branding. That's pretty much all. That's. But no, that's. I do have a VCG one. I don't put that branding? Up. What's that?
How do you be branding?
Always be branding. Like you always like.
No, how does one be branding?
Well, in your case, Phil, you need to come cosplayed as your orb, and
absolutely.
I'm going to have to be a tree.
But yeah, I have a VCG one too. I never put it up.
Never
My
see
wife
that.
You
would
definitely
probably
should then. Definitely should.
Yeah,
I
you're
should.
just one of those VCG shills, aren't you?
It's all about the money. That's what it is. When you're a content creator in the tabletop and RPG industry, it's all about the money.
How's that working out for you, Doug?
I'm gonna be living in a cardboard box here pretty soon. Oh, no,
salt wound, bad. Come on, man.
I'll tell you what. You know what? I love it. Just and Phil, you know this. You've got the itch in Paul too. You know you do it because you love the game and you love games. You love gaming. You love the social aspect of it. Like you always love that's what you do it more than anything else. Like
that's a lie, John, and you damn well know it.
Your dice are always good. But,
well,
yeah.
We played my other half and I. We were on the Goodman Games Dungeon Crawl Classics last night, and normally I run a game called Cymberum, which is a roll under game, so you have to roll low, and DCC is an OSR game, so it's D20 roll high. And she came down the end of the night and said, I'm going to have to separate my DCC dice from my Cymberum dice because my DCC dice live in the same pouch and they're all rolling low, so clearly it's catching.
Yeah, you need like different dice for different systems. I thought that was a rule.
What are we explaining here, John?
Well, my amazing dice rolling, or is it just the fact that yeah, there you go. I was about to say that. I've got a dice jail. The problem is it's too small to put all of my dice in. At one point when we were properly playing Lizardmen, when I was properly playing Lizardmen for Warhammer Fantasy, one game I was doing horrendously, ones and twos everywhere. Terrible. You don't want to see it. So the fact is, lizards, they're warm-blooded, right? So I took my dice and I put them in the freezer for a week.
Okay, did that help?
Yeah, I can understand that.
It worked once. The next game, they were amazing. And then after that, they were like, no, the freezer's fine. So instead, I put them on the radiator to warm them up so they would make them happier. Yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah.
So whilst we're talking about dice, I'm going to very quickly talk about dice.
Sure.
Specifically,
Go for it.
Some people know I really love Wyrmwood stuff.
Oh, they have some I pass
they
by
are gorgeous.
I go to their conventions and I have to restrain myself from looking at their booth because it's just I want it so bad and
it's
I
so
know
expensive,
I can't do it.
but,
Yeah.
So what I did.
See, I know that if they ever come to the UK, like the Games Expo or anything like that, I will have to get stuff because I've loved this stuff.
Did you
so
cave?
much.
I'll come back to
for this one.
In a minute. I caved 2-3 months ago at the end of their roll the dice thing on the dice tower and tray. Let me see if I can grab it. Hang on. So I have. I have here
gawked over that stuff since
look at
the very
that.
First. See, the very first time that I saw the Wyrmwood stuff on the Critical Role stream, I'm like, that's so good. And I went to their website. I was like,
not quite.
Maybe not.
Oh, look at that.
Wyrmwood.
That's nice.
This is wood. I can't remember the name of the wood. I'm really tired. Paduk wood.
Okay.
So the dice tower basically looks like this.
Oh wow!
But
look at that.
Obviously, you have to put it together with magnets. So magnets
that is
are all
nice.
in
Yeah.
here. And so the dice tower is. I'm not going to put it all together because it makes horrible noise when I do it. But this is oops.
What were you saying about bad noise?
This is the tray. And it's already gotten scratched up a little bit. That's got leather liner on it, and I just love that engraving. The front of the tray has got the tower is that. Most importantly, I got this engraved, and I don't know if this will come up. Let me just bring this back out for a second.
I can see something. Can't see what it's red.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Dark Orb, Deorgard Dungeons. Nice.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, and that's obviously just these will all fall out now, and that's got my D6 dice because most of the games I run are either polyset or year zero.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this.
Wait.
Go Go on.
Phil. I don't see any VCG D6s in there.
Well, you see, the challenge with that is that up until very recently, I was not a patron of the amazing Victory Condition Gaming podcast. And then I signed up and I got nothing. I'm telling you, I got absolutely nothing for it. Do you know what I got? I can't go into some channels on the Discord. That was my reward.
I still don't know why. See, I don't do the Discords. I have a wonderful Ghost. She's awesome. She actually built the Discord channel.
It is really cool. What you've managed to do with that is really, really impressive.
Yeah, she's awesome. So I leave all that stuff to her. And I will. I'm still trying to figure out what's not working out right. But I'm going to tell you right now. While I've got both of you on, send me your addresses, and I will send you some VCG D6s.
They better roll good.
I'm not promising anything.
Well,
they might be ended up in the freezer. But I will. I have. Of course, we do. VCG D6s every year for patrons. In fact, the vote for next year's style should be coming up here pretty soon. But since I wasn't able to really give any out or be at conventions this year, I've got a whole bunch of them that are this year. So I'm glad to send some of your guys' way.
That would be awesome. Thank you, Doug.
Yeah. So just
the reason why
shoot
this
me
is important, though, this particular pledge, this particular campaign is not only are they doing the wood stuff.
Oh, it's the artwork.
They are doing these. Printed dice trays, which are...
I honestly, I wouldn't be able to choose which one to go for. There are just so many nice ones.
Which one?
Yeah, I mean, exactly those three.
I completely agree with you. This is not going particularly well.
Just like those three dragons there for a start, and it's like, hey. Yeah, well, there you go. Nice one, Bob. Thanks.
Yeah. This is where I have to do this, just as a revenge.
What was it? The beard of
disapproval.
The beard of disapproval. If anybody uses, I hope people start using that like all the time, because that was awesome.
I tend to basically roast Bob, Tony, and Doug when they do a miniatures painting thing at stupid o'clock on a Thursday night every week.
And like the last show, I didn't even like. Tony's like, Doug, how much did you paint that episode? I'm like, I didn't even pick up a brush. Like I did zero painting.
But the incredible thing is, his minis all look much better for it.
It's true. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna pretend that that's not true. That is true. Actually,
moving swiftly on. Come on.
I'll tell you what. I do a biannual. We call it a shoot crate for our $10 a month patrons. And this month, I haven't revealed it yet, but this month you actually get a hand painted zombie miniature from this guy right here in your shoot crate.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Which guy?
So,
that guy.
Is there someone standing behind you?
Is he any good?
Oh, no, I was the Free League banner.
Yeah.
Free League
yeah.
It's one of those ones that he painted on that stream, because, I mean, they're pretty minimalist.
No. if I just stuck to painting on that stream, nothing would ever get painted.
I'm just scrolling slowly.
Well, saying that, I mean, I got a new kitten lately, and I don't seem to get much painting done now. Yeah. He always likes... He always likes running up and dunking his paw in the water pot and flicking water everywhere. So it's like, well, and when he does that every 5 seconds, you're like, okay, fine, I won't paint tonight then.
Look at this. This is $666.
I don't want to see. This is why I don't go to their booth, Phil. Come on. It's not right.
Yeah, I get it. And I backed at the lowest level, and we're only going to get the smallest one, but I did back the gaming table that they're doing.
Yeah.
So
that's not going to be cheap, is it?
Well, it's going to be a lot cheaper than if I'd gotten something from one of the other manufacturers, because we priced up the Rathskeller's one, which I've got to admit looks amazing. It starts at $1,000,
really good.
And then you have to add all the other stuff. Well, priced it up, it was like $3,000. I'm like, well, hang on a minute. Maybe I'll just
I don't think all the furniture in my house.
Doug, you've been called out.
Matthew and Dave are watching. So
he's having too much fun.
Before I hop off, I just want to say that I don't think if I were to total up all the furniture in my house, I don't think it would come up to $3,000.
Right.
I'm not going to spend that for a gaming table.
The doors and the house.
I got a bespoke specific table built because at the moment I'm in my gaming room, which was the garage. I've got a bespoke gaming table that I got like a local guy to build, and that wasn't that much.
Yeah. But it was made of flan.
Yours? What?
Right. Well, so very quickly, what's the well? I can do this.
Yeah, we're doing an alien actual play with the effect gentlemen over there and their community for Spiel Digital here in just a few moments. So I'm actually supposed to be setting all that up and getting everybody. But I'm having too much fun here.
The products that we use make it so easy, don't they? So
that's right. That's right.
You only have to compensate for the attendees.
I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for having me on. That was a lot of fun, and we'll definitely have to do that more.
We'll be back with the Friday fill-in on Friday next week.
Absolutely.
At the usual time of 5 p.m. Eastern. 10 p.m.
Super late for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do the dugout earlier, and then we can do the fill-in after.
But double barrel.
Why not just do content all day long?
My Fridays is about 6 hours on Zoom already, so
why not be 3 hours on StreamYard?
All out, all in.
That's right.
Thank you, Doug, for joining us.
Guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good luck with you later, and we'll tune in to Alien.
Sounds good.
We're done doing better things. No.
Nice.
That was Doug, everyone. So that's Doug Shute. He is the master of the Victory Condition Gaming podcast, and they do great stuff. They really do. He has been running, as far as I'm aware, pretty much all of the stuff for Free League at the Essen SPIEL.digital convention, which seems to be the only thing that I've been able to dig out of what's really going on without actually spending vast amounts of time trying to dissect their pretty website. I'm sure that there are lots and lots of other cool things happening. There's certainly loads of role-playing games on. Obviously, because it's based in Europe, all the different languages are catered for, which is great. So it's not just all English-centric, which is a nice change. However, we get to talk about these things now. So let's go back and talk about this thing, because this is so cool. Right.
You're still back on the Wyrmwood.
Only because these things are just phenomenal.
Yeah, like I was saying, those 3 dragons just look gorgeous. They really do.
Yeah. And there's more to come. But the fact they've got a bracket on the back so you can literally put them on the wall. So you can just treat it as art.
Yeah, they say like dice tray and wall art in one. It's like, no, it's wall art. It's going to stay on the wall. I mean, I wouldn't want to roll in that. I wouldn't want to scuff it.
Well, no, and that's the thing. For the dice tray that I've got, which I showed earlier on, it's really scuffed. And that's fine, because I'm treating it as a dice tray. It's getting used at least once a week. Admittedly, in the game last night, I think I rolled about 10 times, so it wasn't particularly lots. But do you know what? Even in these troubling times, we're still getting the games in. We're still rolling with physical dice, because we tend to veer away from Roll20 and that sort of stuff unless we really need it.
Oh yeah,
this is something nice. And if you can't trust your players, then you've got the wrong group.
Basically, to put it politely, yeah.
But yeah, I agree. If I were to get one of the art pieces, I think it would go on the wall. Maybe come down if you've got a large group of people. But I'm kind of think bring your own tray. And let's face it, you get to a point where actually you end up with 10 million trays anyway.
Well, I mean, I got a couple of trays from DN Dice, the UK Games Expo, last year, and that's the one that size as well. And I got a couple of them, and I love them so much. And it was with my RPG group. I got sick and tired of dice scattering across the table. So I was like, right, fine. So I literally went off and bought them all dice trays as well. So now we've got the rule of if it doesn't land in the tray, it doesn't count.
Yeah, absolutely. Bob's got a really good point. They have come along.
Oh yeah, Geek Cheek.
They really have.
Although I don't think Geek Cheek are active anymore. Didn't they fold?
I don't know. They were not a company that I ever really engaged with back in the day. Let me just bring this back to us. And I haven't looked at them for a really long time. And the last thing I looked at was obviously the Geek and Sun tables, which are, again, they're beautiful. But you're looking at realistically, if you want to go all out, you're looking at 4 to 10 grand.
Yeah.
And
again, they are nice.
Quite a lot even for shipping because they're not built in the UK and they have to ship it in from their workshop, which I think is in Poland, which is fine. I have no issue with that whatsoever. But I kind of wish they'd just include the shipping in the price of the damn table.
The issue tables. That I've got with the Geekinson ones is that, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I thought so. Thanks, Bob. The issue that I've got with the Geekinson ones is that they're not actually big enough for what I would want to do. Like, because obviously I would love to have them like as a 6x4 to play like Warhammer and stuff on. They don't go that big, so
yeah. Well, this is where the modular gaming table from Wyrmwood, they kind of had a great idea in making it modular. So effectively, the way that they built it, which is really obvious, but at the same time kind of smart, is that the smallest size table they do, which is it's like 6x3. It's British coffee table size, so rectangle, is the end of all the other tables. So if you want the next size up, it's basically 2 of those stuck together. If you want a medium size, so you start off like that, and then if you want the next one up, it's like that, and then if you want to go for the medium table, it's like that.
So what they're
table. And they're
inserts that make the table bigger.
It's like the frame is just basically more of the coffee table with varying amounts of the round of the outside. So you can get a wargaming table, and it's just that, which is, it's ingenious. It's simple. You won't get the width necessarily that you might want, but it's for the price, it's pretty fair. And the fact that they're making it effectively modular, so you can say, okay, well, do you know what? I don't need that right now, or I want that, but I don't have the space for it. I'm just going to get the table that's the size that I have in my space now. But you can actually go back to them and then buy the expansion kits, if you like, to make it a larger table.
Cool.
So, yeah. So I like the look of that. The limited edition stuff they've got is really nice. The campaign is about to end. It will end soon. It ends in 8 days. The reason why we're talking about it now is because it actually only launched like 5 or 6 days ago. So it's a short campaign. I think it's a 14-day campaign. And we try and talk about things that are going to be at either end. What have you got?
Next, let's go for something else that looks quite fancy. I think is a good way of putting it. Now, I don't know much about it because I only saw it today, but when you bring it up,
there we go.
There we go.
Oh yeah, I was checking this out. It's kind of pretty.
Yeah, I mean, so the game itself, I'm not 100% on, but what really sold me is these kind of like really kind of reimagined like fairy tale princesses. I mean, we got like a cyberpunk Red Riding Hood, like a witch Snow White, and I mean they look amazing. The artwork is gorgeous, and it's not just like the kind of like the Disney princesses either. I mean they've thrown in like Mulan and Princess Kaguya, so it's like okay, so yeah, they're really kind of picking from all over the place. So yeah, I mean. It's something that I want to have a proper look at again because, like I said, I only sort of spotted it earlier today, but it looks really nice, and it's on Tabletop Simulator. if you are so inclined.
That and Tabletopia, I still haven't actually done a deep dive in at all. I keep thinking, do I really want to play a board game on a screen? And I get it.
They've been doing really well the last few months, let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know, I guess realistically I'm not getting a lot of time to game anyway. But
no, I suppose not.
What little I am, I guess I've become a creature of habit. You know, I spend all day on Zoom, so why not just stay there?
I mean, I think just looking at it, I think it might be a deck builder, actually.
Oh, okay. But it had minis as well, didn't it?
No, I don't think it's got minis. No, it's got some standees. Okay. But I think that would really, really sell it for me if it had
that
if it had
would be
minis.
enough to stop me from getting it, because I still have memories of the one time, and I told this story before, the one time that we played Xenashift Dreadmire, which has got about 950,000
Oh, no,
cards.
no, there you go. They do have minis. Look at them.
More things that I can't paint because I haven't got the time.
Yeah,
only 10 though, actually. That's not too bad. Is it 10? Yeah.
Well, at the moment, yeah. Although
they're going to do a cool mini or not, and then do, you know, it's 10 minis, but if you give us an extra $100, then you can have 900 minis that are just.
Well, I suppose it depends on like the stretch goals. So really yes, nice. They are larger.
A little bit.
Yeah, they're larger scale ones. So, but yeah, they do look nice.
Says the man who has spent the last 3 episodes of the I've forgotten what the painting stream's called, but the painting stream on Victory Condition Gaming, painting dumpsters.
Hey, you need scenery. You need terrain.
I know, it's just there could be different dumpsters. So I just every time Bob's on, I bless him. It's always these 2 dumpsters there. He does actually paint other things, but that's all I see is these dumpsters.
Except that I've just spotted this. They've got like artworked playmats. I'm a real sucker for those.
Yeah, me too. I've got way too many of them.
I mean, although my wife, she got the How to Slay Kickstarter, and that arrived a couple of weeks ago. We've not done anything new bit yet, but because obviously of all the stretch goals and everything, we've got like a dozen of their playmats, because for each character you can play as, we've got a playmat for. So, and they're really nice as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, so that kind of gives me more of an opportunity to maybe consider it. Realistically, I don't think it'll happen because I don't have the space, and we have a 1-in, 1-out policy on the Kallax. But
yeah, we're gonna have to kind of tidy up some of ours as well, because we're sorting out our spare room, and there's going to be very limited space. But yeah, so that one looks really nice. Obviously, that's only got a few days left now as well. Smashed their goal. So, yeah.
It looks great. See what I can... What can I compete? How can I compete with that? Let's see what I can do. Let's talk about another thing that's finishing up, just because I kind of want this to get as much attention as possible. And that would be the Putrescence Regnant, which is the heavy metal.
Oh yes, you guys talked about this last week as well.
6 days left on it, so just super quickly, it's an LP. It's got some awesome music on it. The video is amazing. Mörk is a really cool game that I still haven't played. It's D20 OSR. Basically you're going to run around hacking and slashing skeletons and monsters and probably dying at least once, or your play characters will at least.
To put it nicely.
Yeah, to put it nicely. I mean, the book itself is just amazing artwork anyway. Also, Mörk and Theatery, which is the zine, and the zine is like an expansion to it by the same guys, Pelle Nilsson and Johan Noor and the rest of the Stockholm Cartel, etc. That plus Vessen, which is the newest fantasy horror game from Free League. They're actually on the Free League web store at the moment with a kind of Halloween sale going on. So if you don't have it, check it out. I think it's 20% off. Honestly, getting the print version is just amazing. A few of us have kind of roasted our friend Andy for buying the PDF and not the print version, but I'm sure he'll see the errors he's raised when he finally sees the print book. If he hasn't already bought it now that it's on sale. I don't know if Andy's watching. If you are, hi Andy. But yeah,
let's face it,
really
real print is better than PDF like every time.
Yeah, it depends on the book, and I completely agree with Bob here. The vinyl pressing looks incredible. I really like. I'm just trying to find the picture of the special edition as well.
What is Death Robot Jungle?
That's a very good question. What is Death Robot Jungle?
You're just scrolling past, and that's all I saw.
So basically, this is a collaboration between the guys who created Mörk and the guys who created Death Robot Jungle. My understanding is Death Robot Jungle is another LP that's also an RPG, and you basically get the RPG. Oh, there we go. Tropical sci-fi RPG setting in LP format. Setting, so I presume it's an OSR thing.
That looks like something the Predator would listen to as he was hunting.
Oh yeah. And this is basically the same. You've got an LP that is effectively an RPG scenario. You can stand if you don't have an LP player, vinyl turntable. You can use the thing as if you do, you can use the thing as a GM screen. I've kind of stopped using GM screens, which really surprised me. When I first got into role-playing, I was convinced I needed a GM screen for every single damn game because it's got all the tables. And the more I GM, and GMing for me is relatively new. I've been role-playing off and on for 25 years.
That's
GMing,
relatively new, is it?
3. No, GMing is new. I've been role-playing for a while, but GMing for me is new.
Oh, okay.
And I was convinced Yeah. I'm brand new at role-playing. I've only been doing it for 25 years. That just sounds so condescending, doesn't it? What do you know? You've only been role-playing for 20 years.
I've been doing it all my life.
When I was young.
Down to man.
Down to old-fashioned gaming shop. When I was young, and in order to game, you had to know the secret password to get into the shop. Couldn't just go to no Argos.
Okay, you need to stop that. You need to stop the accent right now.
Here you go. Right, look. Gatefold cover, random encounters, music, player map and stuff. 8-page booklet. And that, look at that.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah, see, John knows what it's all about.
Yeah, see.
The password is bacon. Everything is bacon. Everything is bacon. Even bacon.
But even bacon is bacon.
Yes. Odd bacon is even bacon.
Okay, I think we're getting off topic again. Steer us back. Steer us back.
This is really pretty. We've talked about it before.
Pretty.
It's really cool. It's got soundtracks. Watch the video. Listen to it. Check out the original game, Mörk. As Sanjiro, sorry, my apologies, said, not that, because a damn move. Stop posting them.
Click the right thing, man.
It's John's fault. He responded that bacon is life, and it made all the comments move. 20% off Free League.
You can't blame John for blaming bacon. No,
I
denied.
Can, and I did. Yeah, 20% off Free League. Check it out. It's cool, and yeah, this looks fun. I have backed it. I've only backed a single version. I think I got the limited edition, the black one, but I really like the yellow one as well. This is the standard edition, the one that's on the screen right now. It's going to be awesome.
Cool. Very cool.
Let's keep rocking and rolling.
Let's keep rocking and rolling. Let's change gears slightly.
Are we going in reverse? Because we can always go back to bacon.
There's always time for bacon. Now, I think this is one that... Yeah, there you go. Bacon is live. You're not supposed to smoke it, John. Anyway, so...
I think we've broken Paul. This is really interesting.
This one, I think you actually showed it to me earlier this week, actually, when we were talking about doing this show.
Well, we had the conversation, half an hour ago, where we both just kind of agreed that neither of us are playing games on PCs anymore. And I think this is the one that's based on a PC game.
It could very well be, but this is one that I'm seriously considering actually backing myself. I know, like, Esther's going to have a go at me about, getting more Kickstarter models and stuff, but it looks so pretty, and they're not. It's kind of that weird, like I think you're going to have to scroll down, so bear with the blur. There we go. Yeah. I have to find
it looks really good when it's painted.
Yeah, here we go. Right. So it's the heroes. Now,
I like heroes.
They're kind of like heroic scale.
Okay.
And kind of chibi.
To our viewers what that is?
So true scale.
Mansplaining it.
Yeah, without mansplaining. True scale is when every part of the sculpt body is like anatomically correct. So, the arms are the right scale. Everything's proportional.
Yeah.
Heroic scale is generally you have some bits that are what's the word? Like it just they're like extra. They got like more emphasis.
Not like caricature, but
no,
exaggerated to make them exactly as John said, exaggerated anatomy.
So as an example, games like there you go. Thank you, John. So games like Malifaux and those sort of things, they're true scale.
I really like Malifaux. I really want it.
Warhammer and like Warhammer 40k are heroic scale. And then you have chibi, which is obviously overly super deformed. So big heads, tiny bodies, tiny arms. Now, for me, the other thing with chibi is that they generally end up being very cute. So everything is overly.
On here, I'm just trying to find it.
Everything is overly cutesy. Now, for me, for this, it's that kind of it's treading that line between chibi and heroic scale for me.
I'm getting up if I try and get this. I've got my the bottom shelf of this shelving unit is basically the shelf of unpainted shame. I've killed one of them, and I just know that the thing I'm looking for is right at the back, and it's gonna not end well.
It's lost to time. But yeah, so these models look that line between heroic scale and chibi, because you've got some like super deformed parts with like the heads and things. Yeah, Malifaux is really good. I love the cards mechanic and things. The models are infuriating. They're gorgeous and they look brilliant, but they're infuriating to put together. It's another one of those ones that is very niche.
I've got a bunch of Infinity stuff instead, and
Infinity's worse personally. Because they're metal models.
Awful. Once you've got them together, they're just divine.
But putting them together is a nightmare.
Yeah, that. And,
anyway,
Wild West Exodus. The other things that I really like. But anyway, I am digressing. I'm basically doing my best to be Doug and get sidetracking.
Anyway, so for this one, I keep on pointing over there because my TV's over there. It's that weird mix between. Yeah, I know. Well, I've got that up on there. Anyway, it's that weird mix between heroic scale and chibi, and because of the art style that they've got, was just like super heavy contrast with the with like the really deep black inked lines. I don't know. There's something about it that speaks to me, and I do really like it.
I like that gesture a lot.
He looks like he's fully, especially the image there. He looks like he's fully nailing a solo.
Can you zoom in on your screen there? Like the shift and plus. Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow! Yeah. Then it goes weird. So
maybe not that far. There, perfect.
Yeah, that's back to how it was.
I know.
And it all falls apart.
No, he can't zoom in.
But yeah, it kind of it's very reminiscent of some of the indie games and things that I've seen, like Let's Players play and things like that. And it's not just the heroes. So Blur again. So you've got some of these really gnarly creatures.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, and I must say, I mean, you've got the experience of painting that I don't. That you could definitely.
I can't paint like that.
No, but you could certainly do them justice. Whereas mine would just look like kind of blobs of colour.
Although saying that, I think it's this one with that kind of weird tail. Angel Galaldez has done showed pictures of him doing them, and it's like, I love and I hate that man. I really do.
So much respect for him. I've got a couple of the books. They're around here somewhere. I'll find them in a second. Of his how to paint infinity stuff, and I've got an airbrush. I've done a few airbrushing courses. I don't practice it very much. I tend to work with properly thinned paints. This guy just goes, look, I've got this. I'm exaggerating here. I've got this 5mm miniature, and I'm just going to use this airbrush with a giant needle and just do the eyes. I'm just like, I hate you.
I love the stuff that he's done. I've really watched some of his videos to try and learn how to do stuff. I need more practice.
He does a really good dumpster. Sorry, Bob.
But yeah, so Darkest Dungeon. It's obviously really nice. It's the dungeon delver. It's taken a leaf out of the roguelikes things. So it's random dungeon tiles, random dungeons that you delve in with your heroes and level up. I really like the look of this. Obviously, it's massively smashing its goals. Yeah. So
and it's by a really well trusted company as well.
Yeah, I mean the base pledge is. I mean, this is it. They've only got these.
Is not what you're going to buy.
Yeah, I mean these pledges. They've got like the $1 one, and then $100 for the core box and the stretch goals, and $150 for the expansion, and that's it. You can't really get too critical of that. I mean, I've seen too many
add-ons. Did you see?
Not that I've seen. No, obviously they're going through the stretch goals, and they're smashing them as they go. So they need to update quite a few things. But yeah, I mean, I need to go through all of the update list just to see what everything is in there now. But yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah, that's great. Well, there was 2 dumpsters, so yeah.
Just cranking out those dumpsters. Fine.
Oh dear.
So
I agree. It looks great. I'm not
seriously tempted.
We haven't finished painting Zombicide Black Plague yet, and we've had that since like 2016 or something. We've painted
I've got like a billion Super Dungeon Explorer models to paint.
That and
I don't think they're ever going to get a look in.
Folklore we've started, and we haven't started on the expansion, but we've base sprayed the models and done Zenithal on most of them, and then I think that's probably pretty much when UK lockdown happened, and our main painting area, because there's 2 of us, is the dining table, which right now is my office.
Yeah, so, you're sitting on it right now.
Yeah, exactly. And my other half, she's got the study upstairs, which is where I would normally work when I work from home. We've both got the same bookshelves behind us, so it always looks like if we're both on a game or on a call together, it looks like we're in the same room, but we're not.
Yeah, it's like when you're doing that one for the 3 League a few weeks ago. I'm like, if he stretches too far over.
Yeah, exactly. But we're in different rooms, and yeah, I'm still not over the technical issues I had with jamming that game. But one tries to move on. Yeah, so as a result, at the weekend, really, I try and break everything down and get the dining table back. But then I got a standing desk because it turns out that my office where I work, we're not being forced to go back for another 6 to 7 months. So
yeah, I mean, we've been told home first until the end of March now.
Yeah,
which is why I'm kind of really getting into sorting our spare room into an office for myself, so I'm not in the living room anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of nice to be home. I mean, I was mostly working from home anyway, but not exclusively. What's kind of sucky is that now you have to heat your own house. And always feed yourself. It's amazing how much coffee you can get through.
No, it's amazing how much I've been abusing Just Eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. John's a teacher and he's teaching teenagers.
Oh, okay.
Well, there may as well be.
Fines I teach.
No, that's a full stop, not a comma.
Yoda John. Yeah, so it's a challenge, and actually taking the standing desk and obviously the microphone and the monitor and the laptop and everything off the dining table, and then you have somewhere to put it. So then you have to put it somewhere that there probably wasn't space for it in the first place. It takes you about an hour, and then by that point you're like, I don't really want the dining table now. I've spent enough time in that room. Thank you very much.
I eat on the sofa like everybody else.
How'd you guess? Right, let's have another quick look at something that is going to end.
What have you got next?
Talked about this again before. So, how long have we got? 7 days left on Simon Stålenhag's artbook.
Yeah.
The reason why I think this is going to be awesome, there's a few reasons. Number one, anyone who's watched the Tales from the Loop TV series, played Tales from the Loop or Things from the Flood, or looked at any of Simon's previous art books, Tales from the Loop, Things from the Flood, The Electric State. There is another one, I can't think what it's called. Hopefully someone will remind me in the comments. They are incredible. They're not just art books. He also writes a really great narrative arc that goes all the way through the art and does tell a story. 2 of those books have now become role-playing games, Tales from the Loop, Things from the Flood. I wouldn't mind betting at least 37 pence that this will be a role-playing game as well. And it's
only 37 pence.
Hey, I've got to pay for the coffee somehow. But look at this art. It's really cool. I mean, this reminds me, as I said in the comments for the YouTube stream that Doug did with Simon, actually, this really reminds me of like the War of the Worlds, H.G. Wells kind of stuff. But it's really kind of, it feels like dystopian sort of tech, almost slightly cyberpunk in some ways, future, the limited edition.
I wouldn't say cyberpunk personally. I mean,
I'm kind of thinking it more along the lines of if kind of
if
proto
anything,
cyberpunk, if that makes sense, and that you can see that the technology would kind of go that way.
Yeah,
but
okay.
It kind of fell apart before then.
I mean, it looks like it looks more contemporary. I mean, that image, it's kind of it looks more hard sci-fi considering the style of the ship. Personally,
I mean, what more could you want? There he is.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, the stretch goals have been met. There are art prints, add-ons, various. There's 2 different versions of the book. They're doing a cloth spine on this that they don't think is going to make it into the main prints once we get out to kind of proper retail. The limited edition version is kind of pretty. I'm kind of torn between these 2 editions. I really do like the sort of leather.
Personally, I would go with the cloth spine.
Yeah,
just because it's
more
prettier,
isn't it?
And you can see exactly what it is, whereas the limited edition looks a bit plain in comparison.
Yeah, it does. It does. And as you can see, I mean, I've gone for the limited here mostly because I quite like the. I've got quite a few of the sort of leatherette style books, like my cult books as well. So they kind of, you then end up with a kind of a nice sort of consistency. But actually, my Stålenhag books that I've got are not limited edition. One of them's up here. And that's just a standard retail version. It's not even the Kickstarter version. So, yeah, it's going to be beautiful. The video at the top, that's worth checking out. It certainly looks like it veers more towards sort of a horror kind of aesthetic in some ways. I think
it's very dystopian. There's a lot of lack of hope.
I might change my mind.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was thinking, Bob. So yeah.
Never agree with Paul. Doesn't end well. That's what his mum told me. She didn't. She doesn't talk to me. Because I've never met her.
Yeah, there's a whole kind of tangent there which doesn't make any sense. So well done for that.
Hey, you know, we've got to bring a little bit of unique. Yeah, it looks great. Not got long left on it. It's really, really worth checking out.
So before we move on to something else, I've got to show you this. So Esther's just sent me this picture.
It's coming. We ready? Drum roll, please.
That's like our kitten. He's not quite 6 months yet. Salem. That's our skybox. So he clearly thinks it's warm and he wants to climb in underneath there.
I mean, I appreciate the sentiment, but they are as well. I mean, they actually warn. This is like a TiVo box basically for those of you in the US, and they have a heat conductive plastic. Is what they're using, and the instructions literally say, I'm not exaggerating, this isn't figurative, they literally say do not place anything on top of this.
No, I mean it gets ridiculously warm.
Yeah,
but
yeah, they do.
Yeah, there you go. That's John knows cats.
Yeah. Yeah, we are definitely cat people. Yeah. Bob, are you a cat person? Not like a cat person, but
meow.
That is cool.
Yeah, so clearly Salem's making a nuisance of himself as usual.
Do you happen to like Pokemon?
I don't know how you got that idea. I mean, yeah, that's me when I went absolutely mental getting some like the trading card game, which we've now stopped cold turkey because I was spending too much on it.
I'm showing my age. I presumed that they were VHS.
No, they are the elite trainer boxes that you get. So when each set comes out, they do you can get the booster packs, and the elite trainer boxes come with a handful of packs, some dividers, card sleeves, like specific dice to that set, and a couple of other bits and pieces that are specific. And so it was something that, because we got back into Pokemon, we got back into there you go, Bob. We got back into Pokemon. My nephew has, obviously he's at the prime Pokemon age, and we went a little bit mental. So it's the thing about having too much dispensable income, and I kind of so the new sets come out, so I'll have a booster box, an elite trainer box, and then I'll get all the cards that I haven't got. And when you realise that I've just spent like 300 quid on cards for each set as they come out, and you're like, I should stop doing this because we're not playing with them.
But you can get away with it when you're younger, and then you get over 30 and it starts going horribly wrong, and you start thinking, oh, that's a month's food.
Yeah, so
for two people.
I've since kind of gone cold turkey on getting Pokemon cards because it was getting silly.
Yeah. So now you're spending all your time looking at Kickstarters instead. Sorry.
Well, yeah, that's your fault. So
yeah, it's a slippery slope.
Esther, blame Phil. Blame Phil.
Blame Doug.
Yeah, Doug. Blame Doug. He's in a different continent. He's harder to get hold of.
He's really not hard to get hold of. That's true.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I mean, John knows. I mean, we've not played a proper game of anything at all this year.
Yeah. Yep.
I need to lose weight anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because I was pretty convinced that I was going to get more exercise during this whole time, and I'm way more tired than I expected to be. Considering I was already working from home anyway, I kind of figured, well, it's not going to be any different, but somehow it really is. In theory, there's not a huge amount of difference or change to my routine. It's
I stay in bed like an hour longer than I would normally.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like normally it would be a case of the alarm would go off and I at like 6:30. I'm up and out the door by 7:15. Get to the office relatively early because there's no traffic, so it's great. I do 8 till 4 and I come home and I'm usually home by 5. Fine. Yeah. Now it's a case of, okay, well, the alarm goes off. Like Esther still has to actually go to work. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I see her off and I'm just lying in bed. I read, I poke the internet. I might doze, get off at 7:30, or stroll downstairs, get some juice, turn the laptop on and start working. Yeah. And then he gets to 4 and it's immediately laptop off, go over, sit in front of the TV and play PlayStation, you know.
I got to confess, I tend to, or even though I'm pretty strict about stopping work at stop o'clock, we use Slack, and the nature of my role means that people could ask questions about the thing that I work on at any time, and although they don't tend to necessarily message me directly, the number of people...
It's still pinging, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, not even that. I look, because I've got no excuse, but because there's only a small handful of people in our company that know our product as well as our team does. And our team's got like 6 people in it. We all tend to have our eyes open, kind of not 24/7 literally, but there's always tends to be someone online who knows the answer to something, or at least can give an opinion on how things should work or anything. We make software. I don't. Unlike some people on this chat, I can't code at all. But I can certainly identify when something's not working the way it's supposed to, because I have one of those always being critical opinions. Personalities, yeah, I'm great like that.
Yeah, that. Anyway,
yes.
Enough shop talk. We're not here
to talk about work. Let's talk about games. Do you like party games in this wonderful social time of life that we're currently living in?
Oh yeah, every night, Phil.
Well, boy, have I got a party game for you.
Well, boy, howdy.
Yes, hang on, because I haven't queued it up.
What are we doing? Are we really devolving this quickly? I say quickly. We've been on for over an hour now, so...
Yeah, absolutely. Don't Get Got is a party game that I've never heard of before, but I saw this, and...
Oh, well, I know Shut Up and Sit Down.
Yes. Those guys are jolly people. No, Shut Up and Sit Down, I have a love-hate relationship with their content. Actually, for the most part, I think they do some really good stuff. I think the big thing is that they play a lot more board games than I do, and there are differences in tastes, so quite often I disagree with their opinions. This, however, is a party game that came out a couple of years ago, I guess. You can buy the original game for about 15 quid, so the retail price of this is a bit tricky to get your head around. But effectively, it's a party game, which I love the idea of, where basically everyone gets a wallet with some secret challenges, and then throughout the course of the night, you have to kind of sneakily try and get the other people at the party to do one of these things. And it's stuff
like... so it's a party game while you're doing other stuff at a party.
Yes. And it's stuff like... and I don't really want to spoil it too much, but it's stuff like there's a Shut Up and Sit Down video where they talk about the original version of the game. And one of them was... Now, no one I know is going to do this now. Get someone else to try on a hat. It's as simple as that. So then you have to try and I think it might have to be your hat, so it might be slightly easier if I show up in this. But the idea being is that you have to try and get someone to try and do that, or get someone to talk to you in a foreign language. You know, these sorts of things. And if they at any point say, "Is this for the game?" or something like that, then basically the challenge has failed. If they rumble that in any way, or even have an inkling that it's part of that.
So yeah, you need to kind of bring things up naturally and smoothly. Right. Yeah, right. Okay. Actually, that sounds pretty decent.
Yeah, and that's the moment that thing. Go on.
I mean, that's the sort of thing that, you know, a big family get-togethers would be brilliant for this. Exactly. So I mean, everyone get like first day of the weekend, you pass all of these out, and then you've got like the weekend to do it over. That could actually be pretty fun.
I'm just looking to see if we've got any examples, but yeah, the idea being that if you succeed in getting someone to do it, then you get to tell them as well. You basically get to over elaborate and go ha 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 ha, and then fold it over and put it back in the wallet, and you have like 10 things that you have to achieve. At the end of the night, I think you're just supposed to go through and see who
got the most and who failed the most. Yeah,
exactly. And it just looks really fun, actually. They had kind of screwed the shipping up, because they'd made a presumption that most of the people that were going to back this game were going to be in the US. So it was like
in the US.
Yeah, I guess because, you know, us Brits are popular in the US.
If you say so.
It's the accent, I think. Anyway, they were going to print it in the US and then have it shipped into the UK for, or to Europe or wherever else in the world, depending on who wanted what. So the shipping was really high. It was, I think it was more than a tenner, and I think it's £8 now. But what they've done as a stretch goal is they're actually including all the original cards. So this is no longer kind of an expansion to the original Don't Get Got. It's now Don't Get Got, Shut Up and Sit Down with the original.
That makes it more worthwhile, because I mean,
yeah, and so so yeah, we're looking at £20 plus £8 shipping, and it just looks like the sort of game that if you've got a family or friends that you can invite over to enjoy the game with, then
the irony being is that, you know, it's probably going to be better with more than our legally at like limited 6 people at the moment. That's the problem.
Right, exactly that. And the challenge is that right now we're just not allowed to do that. And that also depends on where you live. So unfortunately at this point in time, there are large areas of the country that can't actually even do that unless it's your own household. And let's face it, the last thing you want to do is get everyone who lives in your household into a small room or at the same time to have a game, because you probably want.
You mean everyone in my household? For me, it's me, the wife, and the cat. So, and I'm pretty sure Salem wouldn't be able to do any of this.
That's it. And I think your wife might guess. Pretty sure she might guess.
So yeah, we just failed. Well, that was fun, wasn't it, dear?
Next. Yeah. So I think this looks great. I have backed it. Comes out, arrive next year. So it's a real shame that they haven't made it such that it would be here in time for Christmas, because I think it's the kind of thing that if we were allowed to do this at Christmas, that would have been really cool. And I did consider picking up the original game.
Is it actually still available to be gotten then?
Yeah, the original version. It comes in a very different. It's like quite a large cube box.
Okay.
And it's like 15 to £20. It's still available. You can get it from all major retailers. Now I'm not sure if it's worth it if this is also going to come with those cards. I might be wrong about that. It's probably something that is worth double checking. This is got some time left on it. Let's have a look. Yeah, 22 days. It's launched just after the last episode. But it looks fun. Looks really fun. Check out the review of the original game from Shut Up and Sit Down on YouTube. And yeah, you can see how it can devolve into utter chaos.
Utter chaos.
Utter chaos.
Utter chaos.
Utter chaos.
Shall we mix things up a bit now?
Yes, let's do it.
Like completely and totally mix things up. Now, I'm gonna go with this. So it's not a board game. It's not Kickstarter. It's something that I just really like.
And it is Demon Slayer. Now,
so
we had a 30-second chat about this beforehand.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've got to jump on this. I need to sort this out. But it's not a game. And I said, no, I know nothing about Demon Slayer at all.
So,
tell me more.
Right. It's anime. I love anime, me. I'm a big anime fan.
Yeah.
This one, Demon Slayer, or in Japanese, it's Kimetsu no Yaiba, which literally translates to like demon killing sword. That's kind of the literal translation. Anyway, the premise of the anime is very simple. It's very much based on the Japanese yokai and all of them. That's what they've loosely ends up being translated to as demons for this show.
Yeah.
The main character is this guy in the kimono, like the black and green kimono. He kind of lives out in the forest, and his family gets attacked by a wandering demon. And the girl that he's hugging here, the girl he's hugging here is his sister, who gets bitten and turned into one. Now, she doesn't turn all the way. She's still got her kind of peace of mind, and
she just can't commit. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, they kind of stop her from going full demon. But the basic idea of the show is that he then learns about the whole kind of demon world, and he learns about there's this force of demon slayers, and he goes off to train and become one. Now, this is obviously it's part one of the first season. I'm pretty sure it's like the first 13 episodes. I think it's the first 13 episodes, and it goes through the first major arc. Him becoming a demon slayer and going after his first missions and that sort of stuff. But it's basically what really caught me the most about this is, one, it's set in Japan during the Meiji period, which is the era of Japan where they were going through the fast kind of industrialization after America forced them out of their isolationist existence. So the era, so you see a lot of kind of old traditional Japanese style things also mixed with the new. So there's this one scene when he gets to Tokyo, and he's this country boy, and he's massively overwhelmed because you see all these people walking about, and some of them are in Western clothing and some of them aren't. And it's, yeah. The second part is, do you know the Japanese art style, which has all the waves and things? I know what you mean. Yeah. So it's got a lot of that, because the main fighting ability that the main character Tangelo learns is this water fighting style. So when he uses these water attacks, the animation, it creates that kind of wave, traditional art style wave as he slices his sword, and it is gorgeous and it's so beautiful. It's cool. So well done. Brilliant story, brilliant animation. I mean, the studio that did it is UFO Table. They did Fate Stay Night is the main one that I know that they've done, but this is hands down one of the best anime that I've seen. And for a long time it wasn't dubbed, and obviously they've only just got it to be licensed to be produced in the UK. And it was the fact that it was so popular. It was this time last year when I was in Japan, I was looking for the merch for the show. And when you're there, you see all sorts of models and figures and artwork, and you think about it, you name it, that it's out there for all of the anime that exists ever. For this, it was so new and so popular. I couldn't find anything that you would normally expect to see, and when I did, it was ridiculously expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's exploded. And it's so obviously we've had season 1. We're expecting a feature length film for the next arc from the manga, which is like on this train. That's supposedly coming soon. I can't remember specific dates, but I keep trying to keep an eye out for it, but it's soon. But yeah, now all the anime, I love these guys. They're one of the main anime distributors for the UK now. So they've just got it on pre-order. Started today. Early bird bonus of 35 quid for the collector's edition. And the collector's editions are always really nice, like hardcovers and slip cases and art cards. Actually, this one looks like it could be.
Maybe not, no. No, it's
no.
the sleeve.
Wait, one sec.
What we need right now is some intermission music.
So, all the anime, they have the Gundam license to do basically all the Gundam in the UK, and I've been getting a lot of them. And this is, yeah. I'll tell you what.
Let's do that.
I'll stop the screen share. So this is Gundam Unicorn, and so this is their Gundam Unicorn special edition. So it's in a lovely slip hard case. We slide that out, and obviously you got the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And then they always come with like so this one, it came with an art book. Sometimes they come with art books, sometimes they come with like art cards. So very nice. And this one also, a lot of the time the Gundam ones, they come with little mini posters as well. So that's the sort of quality.
You can't put that poster on the wall because then it's not complete set.
Yeah, but it's kind of got folds and stuff. But that's the kind of quality that I've come to love from all the anime. And I've got so many like Gundam things lately. So I mean, as well as a few other anime and things. So yeah. But yeah, so that's Demon Slayer, and I've been waiting for that for ages. They announced that they were releasing it like earlier this month, and yeah, I was all over that like a fat kid on a cupcake.
Now I'm going to talk about the game that we have divided opinions on, not for any social reasons, but just because of different styles, and that's really cool, and I totally get it.
I know what's coming now.
Absolutely. I talked about this last week, and I told everyone why I wasn't buying it, which is because of the shipping. And I know that some of the viewers don't get why this is a thing. That's fine. I just think this is awesome. Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Just the whole diversity thing. There's nothing like it in role-playing as far as I know. The style is amazing, obviously. It's really inclusive if you look at the talent that have created it. There's just so much diversity. It looks wild, it's colourful. Friends of mine who are queer have basically just completely jumped on board. There's so many puns and references to gay and queer subculture. I've said before, I am a cisgender heterosexual male. So for me, this is nothing that I personally relate to. Yet I have enough friends and family who are on board with this sort of style, and I try and live a really diverse life, and therefore it just really appeals to me. I'm trying to find some of the artwork. I may have gone on past all of it. Look at all these stretch goals. It's so cool.
It has exploded though, which is also good to see.
Yeah, it really has. And as I said, there's nothing like it. The artwork is phenomenal. The message is great. Any opportunity to run around with a giant sword and just rampage and love everyone, as far as I'm concerned, is a good thing. Also, it's been put out by Evil Hat. And Evil Hat did some really, really great stuff.
I was just trying to, because I just saw that this time, because I didn't see it when you were talking about it last week. But I'm like, it rings a bell, and I've just gone onto their website to try and, they've got Fate Core, which is one of them, but I thought there was something else that I know that they've done.
Dresden Files. The Dresden Files games are Evil Hat. But yeah, it's Fate and some Powered by the Apocalypse stuff.
I think it must be Fate is the main one that I know of from then, because either that or I was thinking of a different company, but yeah,
that's possible. But yeah, they've opened up to worldwide shipping, and that makes a huge difference. I'm probably not going to play this because actually, as a game, it doesn't really match the sorts of games. Well, let me rephrase. I'm probably not going to run it because it's not really the style of game that I run. Mostly, I find myself playing much more dystopian adventures,
and that's the prime reason why when you guys were showing it off last week, I'm like, yeah, okay, it looks cool, looks fun. I know that I wouldn't be interested in playing it, so that's why I sort of said. This is why I said it looks really fun. It's just it just doesn't look to be the sort of thing that I would like really get into. I mean, I like my fantasy, I like my sci-fi, and I don't know, it just looks a bit. It's just not my style.
It might be quite hard to identify with it as well, and to find your footing, and to
probably
not worry that your appropriation is very much the wrong phrase, or word, but it's effectively that, whether or not one feels entitled to be able to play a game that's set like this. And I think the answer is yes, it's absolutely fine as long as you're being respectful of.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you start thinking along those sort of lines, you're kind of drifting in the opposite direction of what they're trying to do. I suppose
of the whole inclusion, kind of ethos. I think it looks really fun. Gonna get it. It's going to go on the shelf. I'll read it. I'll probably absolutely adore it. But it would take someone else to run it for me to play it.
I think to do it justice, I think, as well, is probably the big thing there. I mean, let's face it. We could do like sci-fi and fantasy till the cows come home. But something like that, I wouldn't know where to start, personally.
No. But hopefully the book itself will kind of inform.
Well, I'd like to hope so, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a couple left. I don't know what you've got.
What have I got? I think some of them. I think let's go with this one. It only started today. It's
hot off the presses.
Yeah. Obviously, it looks like it's smashed their goals already.
Oh, this one. So, yeah, I'm going to need you to dumb this one down for me because I only saw I remember you talking about it, but I haven't actually looked at it yet. I have heard of Cult of Paint, obviously.
So, yeah, Cult of Paint. I follow these guys on YouTube. Ridiculously good painters. Like crazy good. They've clearly decided to go for and create a range of 54mm fantasy figures and busts. Obviously, 54mm are big. Yeah. Now, obviously, they've been teasing this on their Facebook on their YouTube channel for a good couple of weeks, and we've been seeing some of the things that they're coming through, and like these models they look gorgeous. I mean, just look at the detail that they're going for. And the sad fact is that full well that was painted by one of those guys.
It's unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those ones that I won't go for it myself because I wouldn't be able to do these miniatures justice at all.
See, I just think they've not done a very good job. I mean, they haven't got the eyes wonky. They haven't got splodges of paint where it's all kind of gone wrong. They haven't got bits of ink that's pulled in completely the wrong way, so you've had to then dry brush over it because it's much easier to do that than to try and take the ink off. These guys are amateurs.
Keep telling yourself that, mate.
When you've been painting as long as I have, you learn something about painting. It takes more time.
Yeah, it takes longer for it. Like less good product. But, I mean, let's face it.
That's great. I really like the wolf that was higher up. That just looks amazing.
Yeah, there's another one a little bit further down. So, I mean, there's obviously a good number of models in this set. They all look amazing. I mean, every single one of them screams like character, and yeah, it's just crazy.
That's really cool.
Like super crazy detail. Each one of those is an art form, is an artwork in of itself, even before you get like our grubby mitts on them. But yeah, so like I said, obviously it only started like only a few hours ago.
Yeah.
Good doggo.
That's really,
I
really
cool. Initially, I was thinking that it was just going to be the STLs as well, but no, they are like proper. They look like they're proper, like either resin or are hard plastic, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. I could believe it being either.
But I mean,
might say in the
campaign. Skipping past a few there, because obviously there's quite a few. There's the busts as well. They've got like extra, like you can get the artwork, but that looks like he's how they're gonna come. So
the busts are resin. The miniatures are resin as well. Yeah. And so the big box early bird has already gone. That was £239 for everything. It's now gone up to £245. Well, it's incredible because the thing that struck me was that the splash image that they've used for the main core of the campaign just looks really dull. You know, if you didn't know what you were looking for,
that
I mean, what is that? That just looks like nothing really. I mean, don't get me wrong. We know who these guys are, but if you didn't know them, you could quite easily just scroll past that and completely miss this.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly they know who they're targeting. It's the artists ones, because obviously these aren't playable miniatures. They're not going to be for a game system. They are little artists, pieces of artist ones, and that's who they're targeting. So, I mean, it looks amazing. Will I get it? No. If I did get it, they would sit on the shelf. I would be scared of them. I mean, scared to even put them together. I mean, you saw some of the tiny little bits of like the tree twigs coming out of that guy's head. I mean, it's got.
It would be worse if you had a kitten.
To be fair, he's actually pretty good for that. He hasn't attacked any of my models. He's batted a couple of things around, but not a lot. But that's only because he's like, oh well, I'm walking through there, out the way. Yeah. So no, not yet. So yeah, so that's one that I've been, like I said, they've been teasing it for like a week or so, and now that it's finally out, and you actually look at them, you're like, damn. That's about as far as it gets.
I've been trying to work out this one, and I fully intended to have a really good read of it today, but the truth is I got about 3 hours sleep last night. I woke up about 10 minutes after I fell asleep, bolt upright, due to a noise outside, and then just could not get back to sleep. And I think it got to about 4 o'clock, and at that point I finally managed to drift off. So my eyes have not been working terribly well today. That's my excuse. Whether or not you guys accept it, that's yeah, exactly. My world is awful because I had to stay in bed until the last minute. But that said, this kind of looks interesting. It smashed its goal really quickly, and it's a role-playing game. There's no video, so I couldn't even cheat. But it's a GM optional dungeon crawling role-playing game, and it uses artwork and visual prompts, just prompts, to generate completely unique adventures, blah blah blah. What that seems to mean actually is they've got a D20 dice mechanic. It's a preview which I haven't looked at yet, but I thought this was kind of interesting. They're using a card deck as prompts for what you come up against, which could be quite cool.
Yeah, it sounds very gimmicky, but it could be quite fun. Yeah. It's probably one of those things that it'll be good for a few times, but not massive amounts, maybe.
I think it's the sort of thing. I think if you have, and this comes back to having the right party, if you have a few people and you're wanting to go the silly route, or to an extreme, either really silly or really dark, and you've got the right people, then I think you could end up in a situation where you can probably go somewhere either really deep and dark, and it's cool because you're not messing with an already determined environment, so you can just leave it behind when you're done, or you can just get really, really, really silly. Both of these things I'm a big fan of.
Have you got any examples, Bob, that are probably like specifics to check out? I mean, that sort of thing could be fun regardless.
We played Fiasco on the effect.
Oh yeah. I saw that on Will Wheaton's tabletop.
Yeah, so there's two different variants. There's the book variant, which I think is one that Will Wheaton has, and then there's a card variant, which is in Roll20 as well. And we played that. Have a gut feeling that we might have been getting some of the rules not wrong, but maybe slightly misinterpreted, because by the end of the game we were playing it slightly different to the way we started. But that was fun. We definitely took it in the wrong direction, if there is such a thing. The scenario is called Dragon Slayers, and I don't really want to spoil it, but technically I suppose that kind of happened eventually, but
you kind of maybe sort of killed the dragon.
Well, the name of the game is not entirely inaccurate, but it may have taken some situational environment to cause that to happen. Certainly within the first half of the game, we had taken a very different path. A very different path. It's worth checking out. It's on the Effect EFFEKT YouTube stream. I'm a patron of their podcast, and they do like online events every now and then. Bob says, none off the top of my head. I generally see them advertised and briefly check them out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think the art on this is pretty nice. It's kind of quirky.
Yeah.
This reminds me a little bit of a much more animated version of the Munchkin art.
Yes, actually, good point. Yeah, I was kind of thinking what it might have been.
It's very Marmite. I mean, either you love or hate Munchkin. Actually,
it varies from set to set a lot of the time for the artwork. Sometimes
I still have my original copy of Munchkin, which I bought within a year of it coming out from the game shop in Norwich, which is where I spent a lot of my years growing up on Elm Hill. Amazing shop.
Yeah, I know. I remember that one from my uni years.
Yeah, exactly. The irony that Paul and I both spent time in Norwich but didn't meet in Norwich.
No, actually, it wasn't until we met in Cambridge.
Yeah, through mutual friends that we both knew from Norwich. Work that one out. Because I'd moved to Cambridge independently of said friends who also moved to Cambridge. Anyway, that shop's amazing. Check it out if you're ever in Norfolk in the UK.
I hope it's still there, actually, saying that. I do hope it's still there.
Last I looked, it's still there. Their Facebook seems to be pretty thriving.
No, I can't remember the last time I was in Norwich.
And I visited my mother a couple of weeks ago, but what with lockdown, etc. at the moment, you go to that one place and then you leave.
Well, I mean, my nan used to live there, but that was many years ago now. So yeah
she got out.
Anywho,
so it's fun. It's not the cheapest by the time you go for the full thing. It's $45 plus shipping, but that gets you the hardcover book, the deck, some print and play stuff as well. Roll20 and Roll modules. Now, I actually did back Roll, ROLE. It's like Zoom for role players.
Okay.
We got our fulfillment stuff through. I backed it. Aaron didn't. I've logged in just to verify and get my license working. So I haven't looked at it at all. By all accounts, it's pretty good. It's got a long way to go. It's like a VTT, but it's more primarily focused on the player interaction aspect. So they're putting the video chat first, which I think is certainly more in favour of what I like to do when I'm role-playing online. I care more about sort of theatre of the mind where possible, and use maps when I really have to. But yeah, so they're including modules.
That kind of leans into the systems that you generally end up running as well, really, don't they? So
yeah, absolutely. Although the next system that I'm learning is Savage Worlds, and Savage Worlds is so deeply rooted in miniature gaming that your speed is in inches.
Oh, okay.
So
I've
speed
got
is 6 inches, huh? Really?
I've got I've got Iron Kingdoms, which is obviously it's very much supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
But when you read through the rules, it's like, well, you can still fluff it if you want to. So everything has its wiggle room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so we're coming up to nearly 2 hours on this stream, Phil.
Oh yeah, I've got one.
Hasn't
left.
time flown?
Time flies when you're boring people.
Yeah. I've got a few, but if I cut it down to one last one from me.
One last one from me.
Close other tabs.
And then we can finish with a song.
No one wants to hear that. No one at all wants to hear that. So, okay, this is another one that we kind of fought over to talk about earlier.
Oh. And I know a certain someone who is currently running an alien role-playing game who would have loved to see us talking about this, because he's hugely interested in Rome for some reason.
This. Nova Aetas Renaissance. Probably not how you pronounce it, but...
Well, if Dave were here, he could tell us, but he seems to think that running a game for Free League at SPIEL.digital is more important. Just, yeah, whatever, Dave. Love you, really.
Well, rather than hanging out with us two like super noobs, yeah. Anyway, just looking at this, it looks like it's like a little skirmish game. It comes with that like pop-up kind of terrain and some lovely looking models. It's also quite nice to see a game that doesn't use D6s.
Yes,
like
D8s.
D8 as a main dice, I think, is just different enough to make me go, oh, okay. So yeah, it comes with its little 3D stuff. It looks very pretty. As someone that loved playing like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and all of that, this kind of speaks to me from that. And then you scroll down a bit further and you see this guy, this like Hell's Angel. That's awesome, cool. Fiery amazingness. You're like, okay, that's cool.
Is that a model?
I just want him.
Is that a model?
I hope so.
It's a standee.
Well, obviously there are models because it looks like it's mainly around models.
Yeah.
So yeah, set
scrolling.
between
I want to see the bigger
Venice and Rome, and you got some Black Knight guy there. They are. They obviously they're just very kind of Renaissance Italy, so they look great. And then you've got the demons, and they kind of look pretty nice as well. Look at that guy with his big axe. That's cool. So obviously it looks like it's definitely character driven. It looks like it's RPG-esque as well.
Yeah.
It looks very
got
pretty.
Cards for my cat to throw on the floor. I never did finish that story of when we were playing. Xenashift Dreadmire has got, I think it's got like 400 cards or something, probably more. We had them all set out. At the start of the game, cat jumps on the table. All of the cards just mesh into one pile. And in this game, you need a pile of each. No, you've got multiple decks, basically.
Yeah.
And it all becomes
I've got the original
mess.
I've got the original Xenoshift like Onslaught, and we still haven't actually beaten it.
Yeah, I think we've only played this once. We tried it once, Cat destroyed it. Tried again, Cat didn't destroy it, but we lost badly.
Salem likes batting dice around, so you know that's always a fun one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
my question to you.
Oh, look, there you go. There he is.
So
look at how
Paul,
awesome he is.
Paul, you've got 250 Kickstarter dollars. Would you spend it on this, or would you spend it on the Darkest Dungeon? And
I
why?
think out of these two, it will probably be the Darkest Dungeon, personally, because that one speaks to me more as a painting exercise as much as it is the dungeon delving game. As nice as this one looks, I'd probably go for the other one. But I mean, just having the nice novelty of these like kind of like pop-up buildings. I mean, they look like quite nice thick cut card.
Yeah, they do.
And then you just go and plop this guy down. I mean, he is awesome.
Absolutely.
So
it's a really visually impressive game. It's
yeah.
Not, what's the top pledge? Is that one there? 150.
Top pledge, right the way down the bottom. $149 early bird. Nope, that's gone. No, that one's gone.
Fire.
That one. $800.
That's retail. Hang on, that doesn't count. We're not retail.
No, that doesn't count.
There you go. It was that one. Yeah, $150. There's probably add-ons as well that you can add to that.
Yeah, so obviously it's the box game, it's that expansion with the big guy and the stretch goals. Other than that, it's 120, which doesn't. So that expansion is only $30, which, to be fair, kind of just like, why not? Yeah. Or you can get the expansion on its own if you really wanted.
Now you're tempted.
$60 just for that big guy with the wings.
Yeah, but as a painting exercise, that would probably be quite cool.
Yeah, that could be.
You know, that's why I wouldn't buy it.
Fiery wings and awesomeness. I need more practice with my airbrush before I'd
exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, and that's a good one where you can definitely use inks over effectively doing zenithal priming would get you a really great result.
Yeah. Oh, look, there you go. And you can get Altair. Sweet.
Okay. So it's part of the same universe or not?
Well, considering that Altair is from the first Assassin's Creed, which is Crusade era and not Renaissance. It's a good 100 or so years earlier.
Yeah.
I know my Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, so we're going to digress a little bit. Wasn't there an Assassin's Creed game?
Yes, there was. It was actually a it was kind of, there was a box game one, like as a card game that was like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and there was another one which actually had models as well, I believe. I don't think you can get it anymore. I think it's out of print.
Let me see. That's one I was. Was that the one I was thinking of? Yeah, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice. Maybe.
Yeah, that'll probably be the one.
Let's have a look and see what the comments are like.
Boop.
Oh, clearly it may not have turned up yet. How disappointing. So the manufacturer of that game still hasn't, by the look of it, fulfilled that game.
Yeah, I mean, there is like a couple of other ones.
Which is a bit disappointing.
Yeah, there is an arena game which I've seen in places before, but that wasn't that great by the looks of things. Yeah, Brotherhood of Venice. Yeah, so it's that figure of Ezio that again, Angel Giraldez did a couple of painting videos of him. Yeah, so like airbrushing all the white. Yeah, brilliant videos to watch. I wouldn't be able to recreate it.
They're an exercise in disappointment, is what I would say.
Like I said, I need more practice. I've got some models to practice on. I've just not gotten around to it.
Yeah.
I blame the cat.
One last one. Orcs. Everyone likes Orcs. So close to funding.
With a big exclamation mark.
Really hope this funds.
Well, you've got like less than 30 seconds to sell it.
This is true. So, very quickly. a lot of people know I like to play a game called Dungeon Crawl Classics, which is a D20 OSR like game based on D&D 3.5, I think. Orcs is a module for that. Also for a game called Hubris, World of Visceral Adventure, which I don't know at all, but is on Drive-Thru RPG. Orcs is a game that is inspired by Mad Max, as you can see here, and Snowpiercer, which is amazing, and Gears of War,
I didn't get on with Snowpiercer.
Thing ever.
I didn't get on with Snowpiercer.
Really? I love Snowpiercer. I thought it was awesome.
I like the idea. I like the idea of it in the world that they built, but I don't know, the actual things that the episodes were focusing on was, you know, like police shows, and I'm not the biggest police show fan.
I understand that. It was quite slow paced. It certainly wasn't pulpy. I'm just going to leave it on this image here. Basically, it's just a game set on a train, and you use playing cards to represent the carriages, and it looks really fun. It's got orcs. It's got a train. I think it'd be kind of an interesting thing to play. I'm not sure what else Mike has created. Do you have a quick
Wrath of Zombie?
See? I know this has gone to a different screen, so my
it's over a distant screen.
Looks like Barbarians of the Ruined Earth. RPG. Oh, I remember that actually. Hang on, let me grab that.
Bring that tab on instead.
Up. Yeah, I'm just going to do this. I remember this this funding.
Okay.
It's really, really fun. The art style, and
it looks very basic, but
yeah, based on Thunder the Barbarian.
It's very, very cartoon, like very comic book.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's. Oh, sorry, my streaming software has crashed on me. There we go.
Oops. Uh-oh.
Andy says, "I hate orcs." Well, here you go. Have some more orcs. Orcs
with a big exclamation mark.
Yeah, I just think it looks fun. It looks pulpy. Set on a train. It's DCC, and the other game who I've ordered with Hubris. It'll be fun. It'll be fun, or not.
Cool.
If they don't fund it, then it will be.
Is it not funded yet?
It's not funded yet. 7 days to go. It's pretty cheap. You can get the PDF for $10. So that'll be
Fair enough.
Paul, it has been 2 hours and 2 minutes and 12
We've
seconds.
rabbited on and droned on. We had our random special guest for the evening as well.
We love you, Doug, and co-star in the.
No more orcs.
No, more orcs.
No, more orcs.
You want more orcs?
More orcs.
No, it's been great. We had a guest. We had a dug in during the dugout.
We dug in and then dug back out again.
Exactly. It just keeps on dugging. We talked about some really cool stuff. We talked about some anime. I'm going to check that out because that looks really cool. It has been fun.
Check out all sorts of stuff that all the anime do as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I generally the anime that they do, that when they initially come out, they always kind of do like a collector's edition, and then a few months later they do a standard edition, which is obviously a lot cheaper. Obviously, I go all in, especially when it comes to Gundam. I get the collector's editions. I've got so many on my shelf now; it's overflowing. So, especially when it's like this time, like only like a year or so ago, there was nothing, and then suddenly I'm like getting all of this cool Gundam anime. It's great. But yeah, so like check them out. They're great. Love those guys.
Yeah, I certainly agree. And what else can we just very quickly say? Oh yeah, so the Andy, you probably missed this, but I think you've seen it in the Effect Discord. Free League have got a 20% off sale on their Halloweeny games, Mörk and the zine that's attached to that, and on Vessen, and some bundles in there as well. So go and check that out. Some of the things we've talked about today are going to end within the next 7 days. So if anything there piqued your interest, then please go and check those out as well. Also, we don't get any kind of remuneration or anything from any of these guys. They are not adverts.
No, we're just amusing ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. And Kickstarter is not a guaranteed success. So whilst most of these companies are actually companies and those products will definitely come out, there is always risk. And it's...
I mean, let's face it, I've still got a Kickstarter that was like a good, like, couple of 100% complete. They screwed it up. They still say it's still going, but it's been like 5 years.
Yeah. And
if I get a big box of stuff turned up, great. If not, well, that money's gone. It was 5 years ago. And that's what Kickstarter is supposed to be.
Yeah, but this is the physical book, Andy. Or did you buy the physical one as well now? Yeah, I've got, I think only a couple of Kickstarters that didn't fulfill, but at least no one's pretending that they're going to turn up now. So, you know, there is a risk when backing Kickstarters. Do your research, do your due diligence, make sure that the company that you're backing has got a good track history, or think twice if they haven't got a good track history, or if actually the track history, when you dig into it, as we did in the last episode, seems to be a whole load of successfully funded but not fulfilled projects, then take it with a pinch of salt and just make sure you don't spend more than you can afford on something that may or may not turn up.
I mean, let's face it, even if they are all good and fine, something can happen. I mean, like I said, the one that I've got that's waiting, that's still been going on, they've had like a good number of properly successful ones, but then there was just one bad year and everything kind of fell off the rails for them. Yeah. They're still trying. I mean, they are slowly but surely, but yeah.
Yeah.
If it actually arrives, fine.
Yeah, they end up trying to fund it through other means, and sometimes it shows up,
they
sometimes it doesn't. Paul, it's been really fun. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for letting me
find you if they need to throw abuse at you.
My Twitter is still pretty new. I think there's only like 3 things on there, so I'll try and put more things on there now that it exists. But yeah, thank you very much.
You're at Draconaroth. I'm at Guru Phil. The stream is the Dark Orb and is the Dark Orb UK or at the Dark Orb, depending on your platform. You may see one of us on one of the Free League streams tomorrow evening. That's a possibility. So who knows? Might not be me. We shall see. Thank you everyone for joining. And
thank you everybody.
And if you like it, then hit the subscribey and the likey and ring the bell and all that other stuff. I don't know.
All the YouTube biz.
Yeah. And the same for Facebook and Twitch and things. Thanks so much. Ciao.